Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Caden, and in today's video, I have a little bit of a special surprise for you. I invited one of my agency owner friends. His name is Carol. He's 19. He's making around $60,000 per month with his agency, and he's still in college. I asked if he was down to come do a mastermind in my private group of agency owners. About 25 of them showed up, and I'm pretty much just going to show you guys the entire recording. He breaks down some of the easiest ways to acquire clients. He gives pretty much the entire roadmap of how he acquires clients for his specific agency. He spits some value on the lessons that he learned along the way. And then after he's done with that little mini lesson, it's pretty much an open Q&A where some of the agency owners that are in my group come and just basically just ask him questions, and he kind of dissects their business and gives them valuable feedback on what to change and iterate within their business to make more money. I think it's going to be super, super valuable for you guys. There's a lot of sauce that's dropped throughout the entire call. So enough of me talking. Be sure to watch the entire thing.
Yeah, 100%, boys. Good to meet everybody. I know some of you. I don't know some of the other boys, but really good to be here. Thanks for having me. So just to give you some background. So as Kaden said, I run my own agency. I'm 19 as well. I'm in university. I hate bragging about how much money I'm making, but that's kind of like the only way of showing credibility in the space. So yeah, just floating between. I can actually show some guys just to make sure that I'm not pulling this out of my ass. So you can see last month around like 48K here, 2.5K here. Oops, it locked me out of here, but I think it was like 2K as well. But yeah, anyway, just making around like 50 to 60K.
Wow. A lot of that's recurring, right? Not to interrupt you, but a lot of that's recurring, right?
Yeah. So I try to base my business on recurring because I mean you don't really need much more than 50 to 100K. Like you don't you're good if you make 50K. If you can just keep it, like you're good, like you're chilling. So like my mindset is always that it's so much easier to keep a client for like an additional month versus to get a call, show up on the call, sell somebody, onboard them. Like it's just so much easier to just keep somebody for 1 month longer. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Wow. Yeah, that's an amazing point I never even thought of. Like very much was like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, think about it. Think about how much hassle. I don't know how much, I don't know the room that well. I don't know if you guys have like hundreds of clients or like zero, but for me, signing a client is always, you have to either send some outreach or spend some money on ads, then make somebody show up on the call, close them, onboard them, make sure they're good, make sure they like it. Like it's so much friction compared to just making sure that somebody's good and somebody's not leaving you. And a lot of the times, the reason people leave you is not because your service is bad. Sometimes it's just some random miscommunication. Like the amount of time I've lost clients over some random shit, like completely not related to agency, is incredible. So that's that. So for this call, I just wanted to kind of like show you my mindset of running an agency. Just like show you how I structured my business. And then I want this to be very interactive. So I don't want to be yapping for 20 minutes. I want you to have, if you will have any questions to your specific situations, I want to be able to just like answer them and help you out. So that's the plan. So everybody's good?
Fuck no, everybody's great, Carol. Thank you for being here, brother.
Everybody's great. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let's get as many cameras on as we can, guys. I know a ton of you guys are in here without your cameras on. We can try to turn them on.
Right.
Dehorn, you're okay. Yeah, Dehorn, I understand what happened.
Let's become a guru now. Do you all see the Myro?
Let's go.
Bro, that's some guru shit. Come on.
Okay, like boys, 5K to see the Myro board.
All right. Everybody can see it. So no, I'm a visual guy. So I need to see my shit. So SMA, right? All of you are running agencies, by the way, or any other businesses?
All agencies.
All agencies, yeah.
What's the average size that you guys are? Are you like 0 to 5, 5 to 10? Like what's?
It's mainly like 0 to 5, I would say.
Yeah, mostly 0 to 5 in this lobby. Couple sweats at like 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so I have to admit that it took me quite some time to crack my first like 8 or 10K. So I wasn't really good in that part, but it took me really fast to go from like 10 to 50. So I would say that I'm more of an expert on the ladder, just like scaling, and I'll show you why in a second. But I think I've still kind of got some things that looking back I would change to accelerate the first part as well. Because once you got all the fundamentals, like scaling from 10 to 50 is not that difficult. And you know, I know that for some of you, hearing these numbers is super unrealistic, but then when you start kind of like progressing and getting some traction, it really becomes easier, right? I'm sure that was the case with you, Dom, and Kaden as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, basis of SMMA, there's only a few things you can do, right? So, we all have to book appointments, right? We book appointments here. We have to make them show, right? And we have to close them. That's our business. And after we close them, we have to deliver, right? Which that's important. But pretty much the entire premise of this, I would say, presentation is every single step has a few issues that you have to solve. And these issues are literally like the core part of your business. Like that's literally all you have to do. So, for example, most of you, I assume most of you are struggling here and probably on the closing side. But would you say, Dom, like it's mainly booking appointments?
I'd say for the majority of people, it's a three-way battle. You know, most people can improve at least
All
20 to
three.
30% in, yeah.
Okay.
But booking
So
appointments is definitely like the first skill you need to learn, of course.
yeah, so I mean, when I was below 10, like that was my biggest issue, and obviously closing. I was so bad at closing, it's unbelievable. But so there's only a few things you can do, right? Like you can book appointments, and pretty much the fundamentals of booking appointments, you have to convince somebody that their time is going to be better off, like after your appointment compared to just not doing anything. And you probably don't realize, but a lot of guys in your niche are in so much pain, right? Like you probably talk to these guys who are in so much pain, and it's not like you have to create a problem of like, it's not like you have to sell water to somebody who's not thirsty. Like they are in pain. You literally have to just figure out a way to make sure that they trust you. There's only a few things you can do here, and I'm sure you know guys are already covering up. Like, you know, you can probably do cold outreach, right? You can pretty much do cold, and you can do, excuse me for my handwriting, I'm writing on the mouse, and you can run ads, right? Now, obviously, where all the money is made, at least in my case, is here. But that's why I was asking, where's the room level at? Because I assume most of guys who are just starting out don't really have that much to invest in the ads. But I'll show you a cheaper, way to do it as well. So there's two ways. Now, I focus on the ads, and in my opinion, ads are just a no-brainer. If you have more than like $1,000 saved, then you can literally just like explode your way. Instead of 12 months, it can take you, I don't know, a month or 2 or 3, because the whole thing is about being able to spend more than your competition, and it's all derived from service delivery. I'll show you in a second, right? So let's say that with ads, and we'll get to call outreach in a second. Let's say that with ads, you put money in, and I'm getting like 40 to 50 bucks per appointment, right? But let's even say that you're slightly worse than that. Let's say that you're getting 100 bucks per appointment booked in your niche. Now, for the ads, I'll talk about that in a second. You can pretty much go to Facebook ads library, have a look at your niche, look at the ads that are running for more than like a week or 2 or 3, and then you can think about, okay, how can I innovate, right? What can I do slightly different? How can I change the approach, and kind of like do something else, so that all the people that see hundreds of other ads on Facebook ads library are going to choose me over somebody else, right? You can promise better results. You can make them trust you more. You can be more compelling. You can have a better offer. Maybe if in your niche people are just not trustworthy, maybe you can do pay per appointment, pay per lead, lower entry offers. But let's say 100 bucks per appointment, right? Now you want to make sure that the guys show up. So there's many things that you can do. Now I figured out that you can do some little tips and tricks to make people show up. Send better confirmations, send better case studies. Oops. Do all that. But for me, the fundamentals are actually the messaging of the ads or the messaging of the cold outreach, right? So the lens through which somebody portrays you here on the initial contact is going to determine if they're going to show up or not, right? If you do something crazy or something stupid here, you might get good cost per appointment, but they're not going to show up, right? So it's all about the messaging and why should people work with you. So let's say that your show up rate is pretty bad. Let's say it's 50%. And I'm putting up some bad numbers just to show you why it still works, right? So 50%, so that means that your cost per shop is like, let's say 200 with ads. And again, I encourage everybody to run ads. So that's my weak spot, but I'm going to cover that second part in a second. So, and then what should your closing rate be, Dom?
I would just say like a good starting closing rate for anybody in SFMA, probably 25%, right? Means you have a system that can work. Anything
Okay.
below that,
So
you're
yeah,
really not.
I was about to say 20%. Again, I want to keep it on the low end just to
Yeah.
show you that it can still work. So this,
Yeah,
this
20% works, yeah.
This is 200, by the way. So now when we actually do the math, we are spending 1,000 per appointment.
Yep.
And some people see it and they're like, holy crap, like I am not going to spend 1,000 per client, right? And the reason you're not willing is because, again, of service delivery, right? Let's say that you charge, and again, this is for more advanced guys. Like if you're just starting out, I wouldn't recommend you just charge 2K a month retainers. But I'll show you, because regardless of the model, I'll show you a more beginner-friendly model in a second. This thing still holds, right? So now if you're charging 2K a month, you just sign client for 1,000, you're making 2,000. Like you don't have to be a genius to figure out that you're making money here. And now the whole game now is about taking that 2K and making it 10 or 20K by keeping the people for more than 5 months, right? And that's the whole game. Because think about it. If you can make your product so good that people are not leaving you, so you have good ads, because for example, if you're running meta ads, well, a lot of you guys are just copying the same offers. So I'll give you a quick tip of what I did, and it's too much else. I shouldn't give it away, but and not a lot of people do it, by the way. I went to some UGC creators. I took the best ads that are working from like AI ads for different people, right? I went to Facebook Ads Library, searched for the best ads, running the longest. I took those scripts, filtered them to ChatGPT to make them relevant to my niche, my offer, all that. I mean, my client's offer. And then I went to like spokespeople on Fiverr and UGC creators and had them record those ads, pretending that they're the owners, right? And nobody's doing that, right? So they're literally printing money. So these clients are going to stay with me for at least 5 months. So that means, and I'm shorting 2.5K, but it doesn't matter. So that means that one client, this scenario, because you put some thinking into the client results process, is worth 10K to you, right? One client. So now this doesn't concern you, right? Now you can take that 10K and you can put it all the way back here. And you can speed run your way from 10K to 50K literally in weeks, right? Because you put some time on the delivery here. And this is where you're gonna outcompete other agencies. And now maybe instead of ads, maybe you're doing cold outreach. Maybe you're sending SMS. Let's say you're sending 1,000 SMS a day. You're getting, I don't know, 5 calls booked. You're getting 2 or 3 calls to show up. And maybe your closing rate is even like 15% because these people are slightly less qualified. You're still gonna close people. Like you can close so many people in the market. But assuming that you close the entire market, if this is not working, because this is where you make money. This is all just like churning, burning, and putting the names on a payment processor, which is cool. But this is where you actually make money. And that is the difference between the agencies who are stuck at 5K and those who are doing 50K, right? It's literally just keeping clients. So that's that. Now, the alternative model that I would say, if you don't really have much experience and you don't really have much results and don't have much cash, is I'll just take as many people as possible on like, well, free trials are a bit controversial, but even very cheap, like paper lead, for example, paper appointment with very little money up front. Because I'll give you a little story. So when I was starting out, for the first 3 months, right, I did not sign a single client, 0 clients. That's embarrassing, right? It's literally embarrassing. But what I would have done instead, and in those 3 months, I did not learn anything because I was just trying to sign clients, right? So what I would have done instead is take as many people as possible on low entry offers, let's say for a month, free trials, right? You have free trials, you have paper lead, just like very low entry offers where people literally don't lose anything by working with you, that are willing to give you a shot. And now when you message them here, or even do an ad at 10 or 20 bucks a day saying, hey, try us out for 2 weeks. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. If you like it, we're going to work together. Now you can get a lot of people in. Let's say that you get 10 clients in. Now, now you can learn your service because you have data. Like there's only so much things that you can learn with trying to sign 2K a month retainers, which I know this is sweet. Everybody wants them, but if you can just delay that shit for like 2 months and get some people on board, actually learn how to make this work, and you can actually retain those clients. Now you can start this machine and just like accelerate. But if you're willing to do this for like a month, let's say, take 3 people, let's say that you take 10 people, let's say even say that from 10 people, you can only convert 1 or 2 guys at 2K a month. It's going to be so much easier for you to get the volume through the door. And that is how you're going to learn, right? So now that we have the fundamentals in place, I'll have the questions in a second. I just wanted to explain that the whole game right now, your whole business, because this is set, like this is not going anywhere. Like it's obvious. Everybody needs calls, shows, closes, and retention. Everybody knows that. So your whole game is thinking, right? And solving problems. So let's say that you're just starting out and you're stuck here, right? You don't know how to book appointments. Well, you can see what other people are doing. You can see the messages that other people are getting, but you can also get creative. You can literally call a contractor and ask them like why they're not going with the other 20 agencies that they had calls with last week. Like you can get creative. You can think. Like your whole business now is thinking and problem solving, because this, not getting appointments, not getting shows, not closing, is literally simple problems, oftentimes like really simple problems that you can solve. But the only way you're going to solve them is you actually sit and think about them, right? So that's literally the whole business. Your whole business now becomes thinking about solving those 3 problems and then the retention. So with that said, I want to see what are the main areas that you guys are struggling with, and hopefully I'll be able to give you some more nuggets on each of those.
Personally, I'm struggling with short rate, man.
Okay.
So I just quickly wanted to say before Carol answers Corey's question, if you're interested in joining this group where we host these masterminds every single month with different agency owners, there's course content, there's coaching calls with myself as well and my business partner and a bunch of other agency owners that are doing super well. It's a private group that you have to apply for. There's no $10,000 course. I'm not telling you a $1,000 course or some low ticket, stupid group. This group is essentially free to join. There's not really a lot required. We just want to make sure that you guys are serious about it and are serious about growing your agency, because we want to protect the integrity of the group and make sure that it's actually people sharing value and giving back, and we want to help people as much as possible as well. And we don't want to waste our time with people who are basically tire kickers. So again, there's no $10,000 course, no $1,000 course, none of that bullshit. There's a lot of winning people in this group. Someone like Anthony, who actually closed 20K worth of agency deals in his first 2 weeks of starting this, which is actually insane. So again, if you're interested in joining this private group, there's going to be a link in the description of this video. It's actually a completely free course. It's 5 days on how to sign your first client, but you'll also get some more information about how to join this private community as well. So enough of me yapping. Let's get back into Carol's mastermind.
So what's your short rate?
Like 5% right now.
How much?
5%.
5%?
Yeah.
On how many calls is that?
That was on, I think, 25 or 30 calls.
Okay, so 30 calls.
Yeah.
So you booked 30 calls and you had 1 or 2 to show up.
Yeah.
Well, if the show rate is below like 20%, oftentimes it's just like an obvious issue. For example, like your Calendly or whatever you're using, just like not sending the link, or just like your email is going to spam. Just something actually very technical, because you should be getting at least 30% without doing anything.
Yeah, me and Eric both ran through that. Like he scheduled in, I scheduled in. And there was nothing wrong with the Calendly and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm using the same automations Eric used inside this program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. So what is your acquisition method? How are you getting appointments?
Cold SMS, but it was also cold calling at the time. So
were more meetings from SMS or from calling?
Calling.
Okay, I mean, realistically, out of all the like outreach methods, usually cold calling gives the lowest show rates, but still it shouldn't be 5%. So let's see. So what is the messaging that you have? Like, let's say that you cold call. What is the offer or the promise, or why are they agreeing to your call?
I don't have like an offer that I give to them personally, but I say like, look, I'm going to show you what we're doing for some other clients around you. And then worst case scenario, you can take it and apply it to your own business. Best case, we can help you implement that. So there's no like direct offer. I just explain how the service works. and I say, look, I can show you if you want, get everything like that sorted out.
Well, that might be the issue. Like that's what I mentioned here. Usually there's only a few little tips and tricks that you can do in each stage, but the main issue is just right here on the messaging, right? So if you're calling somebody and you're like, hey, and I'm not sure if that's the exact reason, but I would assume it is. If you're calling somebody and being like, hey, how about we just hop on a call and chat and maybe show you something and then maybe work together, they don't feel the incentive to shop on the call. Right?
Okay.
Like they have to be fully sold on why them showing on a call is going to make them more money, because they're business people too. Like their time is valuable. Like,
Yeah.
for example, if somebody called you right now and be like, hey, I can help you if I can maybe hop on a call with you and show you how we scale some SMMAs and we can chat about it. Like, first of all, there's like low chance that you'd book, but even if you book, like there's low chance of you showing up. And with cold calling, if you're good over the phone, the issue is, which is counterintuitive, you can get a lot of people to book just because you're good on the phone. But then if you force them to book, they didn't actually want to book. You just book them because you're good on the phone. If you just force them to book, a lot of them are not going to show up because they hang up the phone. Like, okay, this guy was nice, but like, I don't give a fuck about it. Like, realistically.
Yeah.
So I think it's thinking about how you can make your call, how you can position your call as an authority that they actually want to show. Maybe you can add some urgency, some scarcity, and maybe you can be like, hey, we have, before they call, you can maybe like research your city. You can be like, hey, like we have these guys in your city getting those results. We only take like, I don't know, 2 more guys. And I don't know, if you have some time, we can see. Like I'm just, pulling it out of my head, but like I would focus my efforts on the actual messaging.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to think about that. Get like that optimized, I guess.
And that's specifically the issue when you're actually calling them, because as I said, you're probably good on the phone, right? And so you can book a lot of guys in, but then if you force them to book just because you're good on the phone, not because your offer is good, then their incentive to show up is pretty weak.
Okay. So like get a stronger incentive for them to show up.
Yes, pretty much. Make sure that when they hang up the phone, they can answer the question, okay, why am I going to show up? Like, what's in it for me?
Okay.
Like, why should I show up to this call? Well, clearly not just to chat ideas with some random guy that I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some good incentive.
Yeah, I understand. Appreciate that, Carl. Thank you.
Well, good, man. Let me know how it goes, because I know you're struggling with this for quite some time.
Yeah, I will do, man.
John, you can go next, John.
What's up, Carol? You got a question for me?
Johnny, damn, and Jaden. Let's go. Let's go, place.
Jaden, this is Andrew. Who you talking about,
Oh,
Jaden?
Andrew! Holy shit! Holy shit! My bad. I'm talking too many Jadens. I apologize.
Yeah, we need to be PG. We're recording shit. We need to be PC. We're not getting canceled over here.
Nah, I was gonna ask about your thoughts on this as well, because I know you do like a lot more like upfront, like taking, like I know you do like the bundle where it's like you do like the 2K retainer, 2,500 retainer and whatnot. But I was gonna ask you your thoughts just on like paper, like just pay per appointment as well.
Yeah.
Just like more of like a volume game, try to get more people on, because I know when I did it, I honestly have clients now. I'm still working with them, and I feel like the LTV is a lot, at least because you're not guaranteeing really anything. Like, how do you feel with like just paper appointments? Because like if you do volume with that, like it can be really scalable.
I think it's great. One of my clients who's actually paying me the most, I'll just tell you like the deal structure I have with him. He was paying me 300. Now I think he's even paying 400 per appointment, but I'm fronting the ad spend, which I don't recommend you do it unless you have absolute conviction that you have clients in this area. But because I had clients in this area, I knew that the appointment is going to cost me roughly like $100. So I can literally put $100 in and get $400 out by selling him the appointment, right? Yeah. So that's just an example. But I think that pay per appointment is actually great. And depending on the niche, a lot of people are super receptive to that, because
like remodel roofing.
Yeah, exactly. Because these guys are feeling like they're buying the appointment. And by the way, they're doing the same math. They're looking at their screen and they're like, okay, if I can buy an appointment for, I don't know, $200, right? It's pretty simple here. Let's say that my show rate is like 80%. and then my close rate is like 30. All these guys are going to say like, oh, we close 100%. They don't close 100% for sure. They close for 30%. So after if we do that, it's going to be 250, and then it's going to be like 750. Again, my math might be slightly off, but doesn't really matter. And then they're selling, let's say 15K roof, right? If they're smart, they're going to trade, and okay, that's on like 30% margin, right? So they're actually making like, let's say 5K. So if they're smart, they're willing to trade 750 for 5K 7 days of the week,
Right.
and twice on Sunday,
Exactly.
right? So if you can make that clear, and again, if you're talking to somebody who's qualified and who are actually like decent business owners, you won't have to explain it to, like, if you have to explain that to them, they're probably not going to pay you well, right?
Yeah, because I think, so for me personally, I don't like working off like guarantees.
Exactly, because like
I hate that because
and
I
especially.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, because I was saying like one of my last clients, like I guarantee him like 12 qualified estimates within a month, and I hit it, but like, I got right at 12 at like the last day, and he was just like unsatisfied, even though it's like for roofing, it's like solid. It's not the best, but it's like, for
the
testing.
issue with guarantees is that it's very easy and it's very tempting to guarantee anything under the sun when you're on a sales call to push somebody through. Right. And again, I'm not saying you're doing that, but I definitely used to do that a few times where, I'm like, yes, sir, no problem. We're going to get you fucking unlimited appointments, right? But the issue is that not all markets are the same. So especially if you have slightly less experience and you have maybe like 5 clients, because like if you have 100 clients and you have 3 clients in each state, you know exactly, and it's way easier because you know exactly what to expect. But if you have somebody like in a new state, for example, that you never delivered to, it's sometimes hard to estimate, and like sometimes you'd be surprised the difference between the states. You can get $30 appointment in Florida, but then you can get $300 appointment in New York or New Jersey, whatever. So versus paper appointments, even if you suck, I mean, even if you don't really deliver, well, they only pay for what they get, so it's way easier to sell. So I would say it's very good for both reasons. For 2 reasons. The first one is it's very good. It's very easy to sell. Like it's very low entry to sell because you can be like, look, pay me for appointment. You don't get the appointment, you don't lose money. Obviously, there's probably ad spend involved, but like they don't really feel that. They don't really think through it. So it's easier to sell. But then on the other hand of the spectrum, let's say that, that was supposed to be a straight line. Let's say that you're a beginner, you're intermediate, and you're super advanced. If you're intermediate, it's great. If you're a beginner, it's great. If you're intermediate, it's probably great as well. But if you're advanced and you know exactly what's your cost per lead, cost per appointment, you can literally go to some big companies who buy any quantity of appointments. Like they can buy 500 appointments a month. They don't have to buy 10 appointments. They can buy 500 appointments a month for even like, or let's call it leads, 50 leads a month for $100 a lead. And you can get them for like $30, for example. So the delta between this and this, that was supposed to be an arrow, whatever. Delta between this and this is 50 times that 500, right? You're literally making, what, like 25K? Is my math okay? Yeah, 25K per client. And that's literally the scenario I found myself in. And now this guy is also going to refer me like 3 other companies that I think I might be at like 100K soon just because of this one client, right? So I think it's great both for beginners because it's easier to sell, but also for super advanced people because there are companies who are going to buy unlimited amount of appointments from you. And if you can price them correctly, and if you can get them for obviously less than you sell them, you can make a lot of money from them. So I would highly recommend this.
Okay, sweet. And just last question. Just at least on that model, what was your biggest objection just on calls?
On paper appointment?
Yeah.
The ad spend.
Okay.
And paying for the appointments up front. I'm not sure if you want that or not, if you require that, but.
No, yeah, I just do like first 5 appointments. But...
Okay, so 5 is fine. I was a bit more greedy. I wanted like first 20 up front. So, but you can charge like, I would recommend charging like, I would recommend charging.
Once you ad spend, then yeah, okay.
Between 3 to 5 appointments up front, because you want to make sure that they feel, putting their credit card on your thing, just like pressing submit.
Yeah, because exactly, and because I know too, once you get their card on file, you can manually charge them, so you don't have to like send an invoice. You can just charge their card, which is and you can do it with Stripe. So that's I'm
You can
doing
do it with Stripe. You can do it with fund bases as well. If you reach out to them and if you ask them, because I think by default it's not turned on, but if you reach out to them and say like, hey, I want to use it, I think they will give it to you.
Okay, cool.
So I would highly recommend this model, and that's especially going back here for people who don't really have that much money on ads. Because if you're doing this basic retainer model here, the cost per acquisition is pretty high. So if you're doing something wrong, you might not get a client for 1,000, for example. So you might just burn money. At the beginning, a lot of the guys don't really have money to burn, right? Because they're just starting out. Versus pay per appointment, whether you do ads or whether you do cold outreach, your cost per acquisition is going to be lower, and then you're going to have to send less messages or spend less money to get pay per appointment client, and you're going to get more reps. Which at the beginning, I think getting reps through the door in your niche is the most important part.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Carol.
My pleasure, boys. Not Jaden.
All right, Tamim, if you want to go next.
Yo, Carol, what's up, bro?
What's good, bro?
Dude, so I honestly just have a question on your ads and like basically ads for B2B, obviously. So
Yeah.
my biggest thing is like, how do you really stand out with your ads? Like in terms of offer, in terms of like messaging, in terms of copy. Because like if you genuinely just have similar ads to everybody else, then
Yeah.
like that's the quality of leads you're gonna be getting is like, you know, people that
100%.
have like people that are essentially like price shopping, you know? So like what
Yeah.
did you do to kind of stand out with your ads?
Okay, so I mean, what I did and what I kind of recommend for people to do, the biggest thing for the ads is to know your niche's pain points and their wants. It can be either the pain point or what they want. So, for example, in my niche or most of, I don't know, home improvement niches, people don't really want to worry about, retainers or even rev shares. Like, for example, rev shares not that attractive to them because they make a lot of money. They don't want to give you a few percent of that. It's greedy, even though, for you, it might sound like a better offer, for example, somebody only paying you a few percent of what you make them, but for them, they're a bit greedy. So you have to know what they really want. For example, in my niche, they really wanted to pay per appointment, right? As the boys were saying in the previous question. So I figured that if I promote on the ad that, hey, you're gonna actually pay per appointment, right? A lot of guys are gonna be interested. But again, I'm not telling you that you should do pay per appointment ads. I'm telling you that you should figure out what your niche really wants. Like if you ask somebody on the call, hey, what would make this a no-brainer? Yes. Like what should I do? And in my niche, these guys would be like, hey, let me pay you some money for the appointments and deliver the appointments. Like, let me just pay per appointment because I know my closing rate. I know how much my client is worth. Let me just do that. So I'll just figure out like exactly what they want and literally just give it to them on the front end. Now, the caveat is that you don't really have to deliver on that on the actual sales call, right? Like obviously you can do bait and switch, which it's a bit of a dirty tactic, right? You have to be a bit better at sales, but you can, for example, say pay per appointment. And then on the call, there's two ways to go about it, or pay per close. On the call, you can either position your retainer as, pay per appointment. So let's say that you're charging 2K a month, you're giving them 20 appointments. Well, it's roughly 100 per appointment. That's one thing you can do.
Right. Like kind of frame it as like prepaid appointments.
Yes, exactly. But it's just like monthly thing. So that's a bit harder. If you do if you do revenue share on the front end, let's say that your niche really wants revenue share, like paying you percentage of the revenue that you bring them, you can do that on the ad, and then on the call you can be like, hey, it's either this massive high percentage with this massive setup fee or just 2K a month, right? You can just like A/B close them. So
okay,
again, I've used a lot of bait and switch strategies on the ads. They work well for me. I'm not sure if it's okay for me to recommend them, but they do work for me. So I would figure out what your niche wants on the front end, and then on the back end, well, you can either deliver it or just kind of like famoost it, right? So
okay, got you. And you personally, dude, did you run like photo ads or video ads most of the time?
So I've tested a lot of both. Recently, I'm running only static, like image ads, because I figured out that the cost is way lower for statics, and the quality is actually pretty similar. Maybe it's slightly worse with statics, but it's not so dramatically worse that it justifies paying 3 times more, per the appointment for. But it depends on the niche. So It's niche specific.
Okay. Solid. Thank you, bro.
All good, man. Which for other boys as well, like in my niche, I went to ads library, everybody was running video ads. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna do image ads, right? So I usually just like do the exact opposite of what you can see other people in your niche doing, and usually it's gonna work. So
That's a great point.
because everybody just copies each other. So
Inverse the crowd.
literally.
All right. Next question.
Carol, I'm actually curious, like when you do like bait and switch on the sales call, do you get a lot of objections when it comes to that or not really?
Well, it kind of depends. I used to get more, but now I think I've kind of trained my pixel up on getting people who are a bit more receptive. Like a lot of the times we're gonna jump on a call with somebody and they're not really gonna remember the ad, especially if they book for the next day or next 2 days. They're not gonna remember the ad. They're just gonna remember that something made them interested in the ad. That's why they're here. You're gonna ask them like, "Hey, bro, like, why are you on the call today?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know. I think your ad was pretty cool." So
Yeah.
I would say that's like 50% of the case. They don't like, you don't even get this objection because they fucking forgot, right? So I would say that's a big thing. Like a lot of the people just don't really remember about it. The other half, well, some of the guys are just gonna straight up be like, "Hey, you told me that's not the case. Therefore, fuck off," right? Some of the guys, if they're gonna like your process, they're gonna close. So,
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
and again, I'm not, it's a dark strategy. Me being here recommending to like bait and switch people. I'm just showing what worked for me. Like it's not.
Yeah.
We all did
Alright,
some questionable things to get to the position we needed to get to.
Yeah, and
It's a necessity.
like 100%. And like right now, I'm at the point where I can kind of like do anything in the ad, and I jump on a call with somebody, I show them my results, and I'm like, "Hey, like, dude, in your area, got this results last 30 days. I'm showing you live. I can show you his ads, everything, da 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 da. Like, what's going on, man? Like, why are we even talking? Like, just pay me money and let's get started."
Yeah.
Right? So, but at the beginning, you can't really do that. So it's obviously harder to, especially bait and switch people if you don't have.
So for you, do you believe it's just like a volume game at the end of the day?
At the beginning, or I mean overall, I would say yes. Later on, with more proof, you can really optimize for higher closing rates. Like my closing rate sucked. It used to be like 10 to 15%. Now it's like 35%. Even though, trust me, I'm not like a natural closer. I just know my product.
Just conviction.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my case, it's not even like, conviction, me sitting before the call, like, "Ooh, I'm gonna deliver." No, it's just like I have proof to back it up, right? So
Yeah.
Anyone else
Great insight.
got any questions, Andreas?
Yep. So, like I wrote in the chat, when you're offering the paper appointment, you put the ad spend, or they put the ad spend?
Well, usually I want them to put the ad spend. For this one, like massive client that I have, I'm putting the ad spend because my spread between the cost per appointment and the price I'm selling the appointment is so large that even if I fuck up massively and do an ad that is like very bad, I'm still gonna make money, which I kind of like bet on myself. But I would not recommend doing this if you don't know that in this exact area with your past clients you got this results, right? Because things change quickly. So if you have that conviction, go for it. You can make a lot of money. But normally I want my clients to pay for the ad spend because it's just less risk, right?
Yeah. I hear you. So less risk is for them to pay for the ad spend. And then when it comes to setting up the appointments, do you have like a setter? You set the appointments, or you urge them to, hey, call and set the appointments, and for how many you're setting, you're paying me?
Okay, so right now it's slightly different because 100% of my acquisition is ads. So people literally just like self-book. Then I have a setter just like confirm the appointment. But back when I used to do cold outreach, which I think is more relevant to most of the guys here, the way it worked is I was sending blasts of like cold SMS to like, let's say 1,000 people. And then out of the 1,000 people, let's say that 20 will reply. And I had a setter that was calling all the people that replied, trying to book them in. Let's say that she would book like 5 out of the 20. And those were just booked calls.
Oh, cool. But I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning for let's say we have a model paper appointment with a client. All right.
Oh, completely misunderstood you. Okay.
Yeah. For those appointments.
Oh, okay, makes sense. No, so I do self-booking on the funnel, and I use Go High Level's conversational AI. So if
Okay.
they don't book themselves within like 4 or 5 minutes, they just get a text like, "Hey, this is owner's name. Are you still looking to get your estimate?" Like a lot of the times, they're just gonna reply yes, and then the thing is gonna just like naturally book them.
Yeah.
And if they don't reply anything, usually they're not even going to pick up the phone, so you don't really lose anything. You can have a call, obviously you could have a call center or an AI call center, which is difficult to pull off. And call center is also usually expensive, so it makes sense if you have more than like 10 clients, but if you have 3 clients, then it doesn't make sense to hire a call center for it. So for 90% of people, I would say conversational AI and self-booking is going to do the job very well. You can book like 60 to 70% of the appointments, and the remaining 30% are usually just bad leads, which you can't really avoid on Facebook, even if you have some pre-qualifications.
Yeah.
So
you don't urge them to give a call like ASAP and stuff like that.
You mean I don't give a call? Like I don't call them?
No, you. I mean them. Like when they get the lead. Hey, you just got
the client.
Yeah, the client.
Oh yeah, I mean I always tell them to do it, but like if you charge per appointment, it's kind of hard to tell the client, hey, like I charge per appointment, but like you have to call the lead and book the appointment. Like it's kind of like, so
I hear you.
I would rather charge more per appointment, but give them all the booked appointments. Right? And then people who didn't book, like once a week, you can do like reactivation campaign with like SMS blast, or you can pay a VA to maybe just like call them once you have like 100 contacts or something.
Yeah. I hear you. I totally hear you. All right. Thanks so much, man.
But yeah, paper appointment is crack, boys. Like if you can make a lot of money doing that, especially it's super beginner friendly. So I'd recommend it.
All right, Cray. Up next.
I just wondered, bro, what was the most like pivotal moment in your journey that allowed you to get to where you are now? So like, what did you change that helped, or what struggle did you overcome and how?
One thing. That's why I was so obsessed about it here. Running ads. Literally, the second I started running ads. And don't get me wrong, I lost, I think, the first 3 or 4K I put into the ads. So before I made any money, but the experience of being able to wake up to 4 appointments booked with good quality without your inputs is just unmatched, right? From there, I would say my whole like growth has been derived from leverage. I'm also full-time in university, so I don't really have time to like scrape leads all day. So I started growing the second I started outsourcing tasks. Like, you know, the first thing I outsourced was getting a VA to scrape my leads for cold SMS, right? Then I got a setter to call them. And now I've realized that I've just gained like 5 hours a day that I was like, well, it's way better for me to sit on the calls and close people than do something else, than scrape leads for $3 an hour. So I would say just actually doing it, because like a lot of guys here are going to hear it and like, oh yeah, we need the VA to do it for us. But you actually have to do it. Like you actually have to find the VA, reach out to them, make them scrape it, actually find the setter, train it, make sure they're calling the leads well. Like you actually have to do it, right? Like if you actually do it, and if you actually find the right people to do it for you, you can free up so much of your time, right? And yeah, and I would just say leverage. So just getting some people. It doesn't have to be expensive, and then all the money that you've made, if you're at like 5K a month, I would put it all into ads, because there's not a better mechanism than this. Like I'm thinking about investing like into S&P 500 right now to maybe get 10% a year, versus here I get like 300% in the month guaranteed. Right? So I'd say running ads, and then getting a closer has been a pretty good one as well. But without a closer, I would still be pretty close to where I am, because I just close myself.
Yeah, I see. Appreciate that.
So running ads. If you're not running ads, and if you have a few grand saved up, I would say there's nothing better to do with that money. Even if you're gonna lose it, you're gonna learn so much. I would actually do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Carol, what would your advice be to those people who they know that they need to do something, but they just can't do it or just don't do it.
Yeah, it's hard because for me, especially the first few hires, it took me so long to actually get this breakthrough of like, let me actually reach out to setters, let me actually hire the setter, like let me actually pull it off. Because I was like, oh, if I just had a setter, it almost felt scary of like, damn, like it's so hard to find somebody, onboard them, teach them. But once you start doing it, like once you just start taking the first steps, and you actually put that first hire, three days later, you're like, oh my god, like how did I live without that? So I don't know, what's the best way to motivate somebody. I would say just the alternative, which is not having that in place and being in the same position, right? But
that's a super good insight.
No,
That honestly jogged up my second. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Caden.
No, I was just agreeing. It was a good insight.
Yeah, that jogged up a question that I immediately thought of, and then people raised their hands, so I forgot about it. But it's like, it is this fucking simple. Like it is what you just showed. It is just booking appointments, getting them to show, and closing some of them, and then delivering service and keeping them. And it is that simple. Like, where do you think people lose hope, or where do you think that people allow their minds to play tricks on them so they don't believe in this basic, fundamental, 100% true formula? If this makes sense from what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is a step-by-step true formula. This is actually how simple it is. Where do you think people get lost? Why do you think people give up, quit, change?
I think the reason people give up is because in between all those steps, like if you actually zoom, like from high level, it looks incredibly simple. But like when you zoom into those, like here it says cold outreach, but like you have to, okay, what is the best way to find the leads? What leads? What script? What follow-up? Which software? Setter, this. Like there's so many things.
Yeah.
And people just like get lost in all that noise and forget about like the big picture, I feel like.
Yep. I was going to say that too.
And that's every single step. Like that's just booking appointments, but then making them show up. Okay, which follow-up email I do, like blah, 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 blah. So much noise, right? Like how do I make them show up? Like which closing question do I ask them? Like just
framework,
so much
scripts, how to adapt, how to act professional, how to gain authority, how to gain rapport, how to build trust, how to do this, how to do that.
And the exact reason why here, right? Like for example, I get like $50 per appointment. I get like 70% show rate. I get like 30% close rate. The reason I underestimated those numbers, right? And I made them bad on
show you
purpose,
just how possible it is. Yeah.
It's just to show people that even if this is not optimized, even if you're not using the best script, and even if you don't have the best follow-up and you don't have the best framework, you still make money here.
And I think that comes back to everything that me and Caden teach. Is what you believe allows you to take the actions that would take you to the reality that's already in store for you, right? Your reality and your beliefs are inherently synced as soon as you decide that they are. And so when you say bigger picture, what it really means is like making sure your belief is still there, that it's still fundamentally strong and sound, because then your actions will be right there and long, because you just said at the end of the day, it's just about like, even what you're getting at is like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. And so I think that relates to what you said. Like, it's the bigger picture. Like, you always have to keep your mind where the bigger picture is, because it'll allow you to take the actions and it'll allow you to create the reality that you want to live.
100%. And this process, you don't have to discover it. That's why I've showed it. Like, your business is not finding this out. Like, this is already discovered. Like, people already know that. Your business is solving the little problems here and here and here and here. But there, it feels like there's so many things to do. But then after a few weeks or a few months of consistent work, you solve all those problems. Okay, maybe they're still not perfect, but it's all optimized. And this whole machine all of a sudden starts working because all of the little stuff here is solved and also just working seamlessly, right? And that's where you start getting the momentum. But if you get, if you just give up on trying to be perfect in every single step and just like this, finding the best script can take you 3 months, or it can take you 2 hours with ChatGPT, or like fucking 10 minutes. Like,
right. Well, it's like you could either try to optimize the best possible script to get 6%, 7% more bookings, or you could just get a pretty good script that makes you money and then just double the volume.
It's just like this contractor here. Imagine you're your client. It's just like this guy being like, how can I get a 175 lead instead of 200 lead? No.
Right.
Your game is finding out that you can repeat this infinitely. And it's about getting, 1,000 leads at this not optimized amount, as opposed to getting 5 leads instead of 1,000 at slightly better rate. Like that's the game.
Yep. I agree. I'll let everybody else answer their questions. So I believe John's hand. John, is your
Yeah,
hand
John's
still
next.
raised, or is that?
Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden.
Go ahead, Jade.
Go ahead, Andrew.
All right, sorry, I just too many GBS on this call right now. Can't operate.
Must be looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like on sales calls, do you break it down in like a Miro board, like if they're like kind of like retarded, like you just break it down like the numbers to them? Is that like a selling point that you do? Like
I
if
actually
you
don't do it, but now that you
Please.
mention it, now that you mention it,
like they just made it like super simple. So I
Well-
don't know if you actually did that on calls.
right now, usually the type of clients who are gonna say yes to me and who want to invest 2.5K a month plus 2 or 3K a month on ads, so like 5K a month. Usually the type of clients who are gonna say yes to 5K a month already understand this equation. If you're selling to somebody who's on the lower end or you're doing pay per appointment, I think it's very wise to, like, if they say no to pay per appointment, you're like, dude, there's literally no way for you to lose money here. You can do this over and over again. If you like it, we can raise the ad spend, give you not 10 appointments, but 50 appointments. Like, I think explaining it would be beneficial if they don't get it.
Okay.
But if they don't get it, they're fucking fucked
yeah.
anyway. Like, it's hard to close them. But
And because I know some people ask like or handle the ad spend objection differently. What would you say? Because I know there's like a bunch of different ways you can handle it, but
you mean like them asking you
Like, they don't
to
wanna
pay
pay
up the ad
ads.
spend?
yeah, because I just want to hear how you handle it.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really get it often because I also don't do pay per appointment. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like asking you to
Yeah,
I'm talking to you, like I'm the client, like asking you to invest in my business, but then I get the rewards from it. Like if I was to put an ad spend into your business, I might as well just run your business. Like,
Right.
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, Like, usually when you have to explain that, it's pretty hard to close them anyway. I'm sure Dom knows some better ways to handle it, but
Well, yeah, I was gonna come in and just say it's all about how you frame it, right? Because like
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
got someone really in a long time saying anything about the ad spend. It's because the way I frame it is I go like,
exactly.
are you
That's the place I'm
familiar
not
with
even getting
ad
this.
spend? Yeah, and
Not
I'll
even
save
getting
it for another
objection.
call, but like a very quick rundown as I go like, are you familiar with ad spend? No, okay, well it's like the gas to the vehicle of you getting more jobs. Like the vehicle is like your marketing systems and getting jobs, and then the gas is like the ad spend. So you recommend this amount. So would you trade this amount a day to actually be able to get X outcome you're looking for? And that's how I do it.
Yeah. Probably just like positioning us as literally an investment of
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, correct. Carol's right.
just like positioning this as, hey, you pay $50 a day for 1,000 people to see your ad, for 20 people to opt in your funnel, and 5 people to become a lead, and 2 people to book an appointment. And then out of those appointments, like this equation holds. So it's all just math. So like if you're not willing to pay $750 to make 15,000, like you're just retarded. Like obviously you have to kind of like use some language around this too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can be that blunt about it, but
Yeah, we can. Well, all right, we'll take a few more questions because we don't want to hold up Carol.
no, I'm good. I'm actually not really.
Okay, cool. All right, well,
Shiv.
Shiv. Yeah, if you want to go next, Shiv.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
From 0 to 60, like where did your agency plateau? Like what kind of bottlenecks you got and how did you solve them?
From 0 to 60.
Yeah, throughout the whole journey.
Okay. So, I mean, my biggest plateau was at 0. I was just trying to get paid from day one, which if I just delayed making money by 2 weeks, I would have been so much further ahead. But that was the biggest thing. And then I was just getting like, a client here, three weeks later, a client there. It wasn't really consistent. So I was hovering between like 4 and 8K a month. Then at 8, my biggest breakthrough was getting my delivery in check. So around like 4K a month, I figured out my delivery. So I actually stopped losing clients. So even though I was only getting maybe like 1 client a month, which is embarrassing, I still went up to like 10K a month because I was just not losing the people from the previous months. And from there, obviously, there's a lot of small lessons they learn on each steps. But from there, from like 8 to 10K, just sending it with ads. And then the good thing with ads is that they force you to level up, because all of a sudden you start spending your own money on getting appointments. So if you spend your own money and you, for example, don't get appointments, you're like, oh shit, I have to solve it because I'm literally bleeding my money. Or if you can't make people to shop, you're like, I'm literally bleeding my money getting appointments, but because of this narrow problem, I'm not making money. So now your whole business is about solving this narrow problem, right? So that's why ads force you to like level up. So that's my biggest thing. And then at probably 30K, just making sure that the whole thing doesn't just completely break because of sheer volume. Because once you start having like over 20 clients, it's a bit of a mess. So you have to put some more systems in place. And right now it's just pumping more ad spend so that my closer can get more calls, so that my VA can onboard more clients. Like, it's not. Yeah, so
that's the problem we want to have.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas.
Hey, so my question is kind of tailored to my client. So have you ever had a client where they weren't getting the best results for a few months, but they paid already, right? And so if so, how did you communicate that with them in order to keep going and also sign them again if you did?
So just for me to get some background, so you piffed them?
Yeah.
For how long?
3 months.
Okay. And what was the piff?
A 3K.
Okay. And did you guarantee or promise results?
Yeah, 45 appointments within like a 90-day frame, which I've delivered probably maybe 25.
Okay, I mean, for the future, don't promise 90 appointments for 3K.
No, I said 45 appointments within 90 days.
Oh, 45. Okay. So 45. I mean, that's still like 75 per appointment. Okay, but anyway, I would maybe do less appointments or raise the price. But either way, so the situation is you got them and you're not getting the appointments. You go like 25 out of 45, you said.
Yeah, it's just been really slow the past few months. And I think he might have turned on me, his cards declining on Facebook ads. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I only had this situation, so which is pretty surprising. I only closed one PIF in my life, which it wasn't a great experience. I charged 3K. I promised 45 appointments, exactly the same story, and I could not deliver because the client was in an area that I've never run ads before, so I was clueless. But we all made that mistake. So what ended up happening is they were just like on my ass every day. Like they're just like calling me every day, like what's going on. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna pay for you to just like leave me in peace. So I refunded them half of the PIF, which was 1,500, and we both parted ways pretty much. So is he demanding a refund?
So what did you say?
Oh, is the client demanding like a refund?
No, he just texted me saying the past few weeks have been slow.
Okay, I mean,
meanwhile, I've switched to ads 3 times already.
What niche are you in?
Roofing, but this guy's in roof rejuvenation.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually not in that niche anymore. I have an ad that's a killer in that niche. I can send it to you if you want in private. But
Roof
where's he
rejuvenation?
located? Yeah.
He's located in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. So I see the issue. Yeah, it's not an easy market. So just to give an example, I had a client in roof rejuvenation. So he was just in roofing, but then he was like, let's do roof rejuvenation in Miami. He was printing appointments. But then I also get another one in North Carolina. He was not getting any appointments. So that's the issue with promising results. Like results vary on the area. So, but okay, so shit happened. So I mean, you can either, what I would recommend you do is be like, hey, I'm not gonna charge you right now until we fix the ads and get you the appointments that you paid for. I would continue him paying for the ad spend. I'll just like, call them like, hey, things have been slow. I always like giving like, wow, we have this idea, just like get them excited again. I mean, what you want to avoid is losing the money, because if you refund them, you just end up working for free for like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So I would want to avoid the refund at all costs. I wouldn't focus on how can I make him pay me again. I'll just focus on making it right with him and just like getting him the appointments without any added cost, but also not refunding you. Right? So I would set that as a goal. So what else are you doing for him? Like image ads or video ads?
Some video, some images,
And what is he spending?
$50 a day. And I have it in the agreement where he, pays for ad spend still, even if the quota isn't hit by said time.
I mean, if he's gonna go to not pay the ad spend, then you just keep your money and part ways.
Yeah, I guess so.
Obviously, that's sad, but it happens sometimes. The only issue is if they actually charge back after like 2 months, which happened to me as well. And by the way, for anybody here, if you're refunding your client, which, we all like talking about revenues, but sometimes I refunded 2 clients in my life, which I'm just like, at this point, I'm making this money. Like, I don't need to take your money if you don't feel like I'm doing you a good job. So if you're refunding your clients, make sure to sign a refund agreement. This is absolutely mandatory. Hey, I'm refunding you this money at this date for those services. You waive any rights to chargebacks and claims, because what can happen, you can refund them like 1.5K out of the 3K, for example, in my case, and then the next day they can charge back the 3K. So now you're 4.5K down from the 3K made, right? So you want to avoid that. But again, man, I mean, I haven't seen the ads, but it's a tough market, right? So I just try to make it. Are the ads running right now or
not right now?
Oh, they're off already. Okay.
Yeah, right now they're off. But also, I have another client where I did get him results, and now it's come to a point where I have to rebill him, and I might be getting ghosted. So I guess I'm just gotta follow up with him every other day, I guess. Or
did you keep in touch with him like quite consistently? Already.
Yeah, throughout the partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the best though. I could have done better.
Okay, but he was kind of responsive.
He would read the messages and respond the next day.
And now, what makes you think that he's gonna ghost you?
Well, he told me he's gonna call me. Didn't call me. I called him. He's not answering my calls. I sent him the payment link. Didn't pay it.
Do you have it on auto bill? Like, can you just charge him?
I could, but is that the right thing to do? Even though, like, I don't know.
Well, it kind of depends on what you agreed on. Like, if you agreed on that, like it's kind of like recurring PIF or like recurring payment.
Yeah, no, we agreed on 45 appointments, and I already delivered way past that, over 60. And so now it's at a point where I got to rebill them again, either the full PIF, or you can finance it, or we can do some payment plans. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, usually you want the agreement to be like, you pay for 45 appointments. Once that batch is over, you prepay for another batch, or continue monthly for, let's say, 15 appointments per month at, let's say, 1K a month, or like whatever you want to do, so that you can rebuild them, right? Because you basically never want your client to have to manually pay you again, because now you're dependent on them. Let's say that 2 days before your billing day, they didn't get a lead, which is random, it can happen. They're going to be less inclined to pay you, even subconsciously. So
yeah, rather than just charge their card on file.
So you want to make sure on the front end that, on the agreement, or just like when you're talking to them, that you can do it without their friction. Because bro, like I have one client, and I started SMA June last year, so like almost 1.5 years. And I have one client that I signed last November, and they're still with me till today. So it's like 13 months or 12 months. If I had to send them the payment link every month and be like, hey, do you still want to pay me? I guarantee you that at some point they'll be like, no, fuck off. Yeah. Because let's say that the last 3 days were not great. So for the future, I want to make sure that it's just like as little friction as possible when it comes to new payments, and a good agreement so that you can charge him and then he can't really complain. With this one, it's a tough one. I wouldn't charge him. I'll just try to reach him, but
Yeah.
You know what's a good thing to do? Pause his ads. I'd pause his ads because
Pause them. Well, I turn them off. Yeah.
okay, you turn them off. Okay, so
Yeah.
now because if your client is not paying you and you're running their ads, they don't respect you. You have to switch it off. Be like, hey, you paid for that. Like, you're done. If you want to, continue for the future, we can have a talk. But like, so if your ads are off, well, all you can do is try to reach out to them and kind of like talk to them. For the future, I'll make sure that you clearly set the terms before the actual PIF, because it's always going to get awkward, especially if they had like a bad week.
Okay, thanks for the insight.
We're good, man.
Jaden.
Jaden.
Next.
Go ahead, brother.
How you doing, Carol?
Very good, man.
Appreciate you. So this is about B2B ads. We're like one of the few guys, I think, that are actually running ads. And so I just want to know what you're doing right now for your B2B ads funnels to kind of limit turds from hitting your pixel and like booking calls. Because we're at like $100 a day. So getting bookings is not an issue at all. But we're just getting like too many brokies. Like I know it's with Facebook, it's inevitable, but like we're getting way too many people and then they hit the pixel and then it just gets into like a, I guess, negative spiral of shit
I
leads.
get you.
So yeah, if you could kind of tell me if you've fixed that, if you have any like additional logic on the front end or anything like that, that would help.
100%. Yeah, so I had the exact same issue. And just to give you some context, I've just raised my ad spend to 300 there right now, so it's pretty dialed in. But my issue kind of like fixed itself from the messaging. So in my experience, what I was showing here earlier, all the issues with quality, show rate, and close rate are derived from the messaging on the ad. So what I fixed is not the funnel, because let's say that if you introduce qualification on the funnel, let's say that you say, hey, only guys making this money, or only guys working with this many clients, or just like any threshold. Like, let's say that right now you're getting 5 calls on the funnel and a day, and one is good for or bad. Like, you're still gonna get those 5 people, like those same 5 people. You're just gonna filter out 4. You're still gonna get the same one person. So like the net outcome of adding a filter on your funnel is gonna be similar, right? Versus if you change your messaging, you're just gonna get like a different set of people. So out of those different people, more can be qualified. So I would focus on the messaging on the ad. That is hopefully gonna give you better people on the funnel. That's how I would solve it. Now, obviously on the funnel, you can also add more friction just to not fuck your pixel up. But I don't think that this is going to solve the issue. I think that what's going to solve the issue is just the front end of the actual ad, because that's determining the type of people that are just opting out on the funnel.
Okay, definitely. That makes sense. And out of curiosity, like for your pixel, is it, because I know there's like some advanced shit where you can do like, you can delay the pixel, like someone hitting your pixel by having it in the, like, for example, go high level and then you move them to the qualified pipeline and then that fires off. Like, do you do any of that shit, or is it simply on the call confirmation page, someone hits your pixel?
Well, I use Calendly.
Yeah.
So Calendly has like their own pixel event of somebody scheduling.
Okay.
So that's what I use.
Gotcha. And do, for your funnel, can you like quickly run through how that works? So it's like the static image ad you said.
It's literally headline, booking page, results at the bottom.
Results at the bottom. And then do you have like a call confirmation, like VSL, anything?
Yes,
like
yes. So it's a headline, booking page, a bunch of results. In between results, there's like book a call, and then on the bottom there's book a call again. After they book, it's a VSL. It's a video, like a 3-minute video of me pretty much trying to position myself as an absolute authority in the niche, pretty much just showing results, showing what people are getting, what they can expect, pre-handling some stuff, and then a bunch of proof at the bottom below the video.
Cool.
And then one more thing that I want to mention for everybody, I've realized, especially if you make like a good VSL or like a good backend video, that the people who watch the video are way more likely to close, right? So on reminders, instead of being like, hey, this is a friendly reminder that your call is in 24 hours, I'm trying to get them to watch the video. So I'm like, hey, John, our call is in 24 hours, or tomorrow at 3. And I've sent you some quick video before solving XYZ problem, or just like I've I don't know, sent you a video showing how he got this client X results the next time, right? So my like reminders are focusing on getting them to watch the video, because if they watch the video, they're closing.
Yep. Not to hijack the mastermind, but I always say it's like I'm the laziest salesperson out there. Like, I might reschedule somebody if they don't watch the video, because it's like, why would I start like that? Imagine like you sent like a girl something like, yeah, hey, like read this book and we could talk about it at our next date. And she was like, yeah, I just didn't read the book. Would you be like, oh, okay, no issues. I'm still going to talk about the book in front of you, and I'm going to explain every book. Like, you can't let your fucking dog piss on the rug. You can't let the dog piss on the rug. You got to punish it. You got to punish it.
And to add to that, because again, like we're all in B2B, and I think B2B, like a lot of people are learning sales from B2C, and then they're trying to apply that to B2B. I think in B2B, the only thing that matters on the call is just authority and frame. Like the second you lose the frame, you're just not closing them. So
that's a huge point. Yeah.
And you can lose the frame in the first 10 seconds asking them, hey, did you watch the VSL? No. Okay, anyway.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Yeah, don't watch anything. You know, and especially it's just like, what is the mentality of how they show up? Well, they invested their time, which is as a business owner worth money, into you. They got value from you, so you already have authority, and they showed that whatever you tell them to do, they'll do it.
Yeah.
What like, if we want to close the most amount of deals, how is it going to be, you know? And it's going to be from being selective. And when dogs piss on the lawn, you got to fucking, I don't know, rub their face in it. That's what some people do. Rub their face in it. Or you got to shock it, or whatever you have to do. Like, don't let dogs piss on your fucking rug. Walk in your house and piss on the rug. This is not how it works here.
Dom, where do you get these analogies from, bro? I've never heard of that.
You never had a dog piss on the rug, dude? You can't let your dog piss on the fucking rug. You got to get if you took a girl out on a date and you were like, yeah, like you should watch this like show, and it was like they had like a whole week to watch like a 5-episode show, and she didn't watch it. What is that show? She's not committed.
That's facts. I've never heard someone say, "Don't let your dog piss on the rug," and like a business term. I've never heard that before.
Well, he's walking in your house and saying, "I don't care."
It's facts.
I don't give a fuck. Let's reschedule it. I would be like, yeah, man, for sure. That makes complete sense to me. Like, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you the time, because I know we had like about 30 minutes chunked out here. Video's about 30 minutes. We can watch that, and then we can find a time later today or sometime tomorrow where we'd come and be on the same terms. Just because it's gonna take like an hour and a half for me to explain all the things we can do if you don't have that video done. So that work for you. Like, it's same thing, dude. If people show up to Simple Scale and they don't watch the free course, I just kind of give them shit for it. I'm just like, what the fuck were you doing? What were you doing? Said you want to make money. You can't watch an hour video. You can't watch an hour videos. What does that show about you? And what does that show to me if I allow that to continue to happen? And am I actually the best coach? Am I actually the best mentor? Am I actually the best business owner? Do I actually respect my own time, my own money, if I let you walk in my house and piss on my rug? So that's a big thing that I just wanted to say, that Carol is completely spot on. Make them watch the video. Make them commit to you before they make them make a lot of commitments before they get on the call, because then they're in the mindset of I commit to you and you bring them value. And that's the closing. That's like a closing recipe.
And I think to add to that, a lot of people are kind of like afraid to turn calls down, right? Like you're like, oh, I'm not going to turn a call down. Like they're here, I might as well sell them. But the mindset you have to have about it is, well, you're not closing them anyway. So you can waste 30 minutes of their time, right? Burn the lead, or you can reschedule them, make them watch the video, make them respect you a bit more, show up and close.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just to ask one final question, Kel, just to clarify, you said the biggest lever to pull to get higher quality people booking in is just messaging. Like it doesn't have to be all this like qualification, conditional logic, like shit. It's just right message to the right target audience, and then that should solve all the issues.
I don't have any qualification on my funnel, and I'm closing 2.5K a month retainer with a 35% closing rate. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So
and that's my issue. Yeah, we changed everything except the messaging, to be honest, and it wasn't like the best result.
And you should have changed only messaging. I mean, you can still get pre-qualifications, but a lot of the times I've realized, which is like a side tip, if you have too many pre-qualifications, even if somebody's qualified, people are just like kind of skeptical. They have to answer like how much money you make. It just feels a bit too salesy. So sometimes they just raise the cost per appointment, but they don't really add any value. So I'll definitely experiment with that.
Or hire a setter to filter through those shit leads, because even so,
Yeah.
like, I remember you saying, Jaden, and a lot of this is a really important thing, is for those of you that are testing ads, you guys always put like, well, if they're not making this amount of revenue, like I've had this said to me multiple times, well, if they're not making over 5 or 10K, they probably can't pay for my thing anyway. Bro, you would be surprised how many deals I have closed of people making 5K or less. You don't understand, like people just have money. How did you invest into Air Cavaliers program, or how did you invest in any other program? The Kiwaza programs. How do people invest in those programs? They don't have a functional business. Like, people have money, bro.
You're
You know?
spot on, man. Like,
Me and Keenan invested into Eric's program. We're making like 1K, bro, like 1K. We invested in both of our programs. Just like,
bro,
you just
I was
save money,
making
like scraping it little by
zero.
little. Yeah.
Bro, I was making zero. I was making
Yeah.
zero. I had
Didn't even have business. Yeah.
1.7K in my bank account. The program I was buying was 4.5K. So I bought in 3 installments of 1.5K. So after the first installment, I had $200 left. I paid for my high level and some Calendly. I had like $30 left, and I had no way to pay for the next installment. So if somebody rejected me on the front end, I will not be talking to you today, right? So
if people want their dream outcome bad enough, and they see the value, and they see that you can help them get there, they will pay you no matter what situation they're in.
Definitely. Okay, that fucking helps a ton. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
That's why even it's like from what me and Kane did, we would put, what is your revenue right now? How much are you willing to invest? And I would still call every single one. I wouldn't disqualify anybody. I would still call every single one, because you never know. They might just put less than 5K, less than 500, just because they don't want to like be sold on some shit. You know?
Yeah.
But it is important, because like I go into it, I'm like, okay, this guy's probably this guy. And then if I talk to him, it's like, oh yeah, he is. Well, then I'm gonna DQ him. And then if I go into the call, I'm like, this guy's probably this guy. He's a whole different guy. Well, then I'm like, wait, I can book a meeting with you. That's how you want to do it, in my opinion. That for me, it's more so just like, I get the gist of like, okay, well, someone comes in and they said they're making 10K in between 10 and 20, and they have like 2K to invest. I'm gonna call those motherfuckers right now. I'm gonna get on their, I'm gonna get on my high horses, book them in ASAP. Someone comes in less than 5K, less than 500. I'm like, well, I'll call them after the sales meeting. You can wait, little buddy.
Gotcha.
Go get more than $500, and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, 100%. Plus, like, bro, even with financing these days, we don't really need to have any money up front. Like, you can close people on like split payment or something.
100%. That's 1,000,000% true.
Johnny?
I as time went on, I hated working with financing clients. They're never the best clients, bro. For me.
Yeah,
For me.
That's a fair point anyway. But yeah,
If you want the money, if
They can be quite
you're scaling
annoying.
your first 10K, oh my god, bro. Any issue I've ever had with a client is someone who financed.
Yeah, someone who finances.
Any issue.
Yeah,
Same.
pretty much.
Any issue.
Same. And I'm not like SMA is not really popular to do financing. I think I've closed like 3 financing deals in my life. None of them renewed to the second month. So
Yeah, that's another
Dude,
thing.
it sucks. They all suck, bro.
and my
They all
churn
suck.
is super low, by the way. So
I would finance them just for like the fucking cash flow of it, like at least to make like break even that month or something like that. Like
that's such a bad business advice. We can all be out here on YouTube saying that.
Bro, any issue I've ever had with any client has always been a motherfucker who's doing a 3-year. We had a client, the worst client we ever had, bro, ever by far. He did a fucking 38-month, like until 2028.
He had like almost
fucking
2K in extra financing fees. Like, it was like, wild.
Oh my god.
He paid like
Dude, he
5K,
stared down the
like,
barrel.
whole time.
And he was like, do I have to pay? Well, like the fact of the matter is actually is like, if you pay it early, you don't actually pay the extra interest. I looked that up. I thought I was like bullshitting on the sales call, but I looked it up and it was completely true.
Now he's what's up.
Yeah, last question now. Hurry up. Chop.
Last
Chop.
question. It
Just
isn't.
get to the-
It isn't
get to the point.
specifically- All right, buddy. All right, coach. But yeah, it
Tell me the
isn't-
price. Tell me the price. What's the price?
Yeah, how much is it?
Just tell me what you do, Carol, bro. Come on now, hurry up. No, but it isn't specifically about me, but I feel it's like something that a situation that you're put in multiple times when you're scaling. I remember like a couple months ago, you were in like Eric's chat saying that you were like spending 100 a day on like ads and you wanted to scale, but like you physically like couldn't. I don't know, you were scared of some shit and you were telling Eric to like increase your own ad spend. I feel like there's something that happens multiple times. Like for example, for me, obviously I want to increase like the number of SMS I'm doing. I know that at some point I'm still gonna have to increase like the amount of ad spend. How do you kind of get over that? Like what's kind of your experience getting over that hesitancy about actually scaling?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I was holding back for quite a while. So I mean, two things. So first thing, like usually if you're not certain about increasing your ad spend, that is derived from being certain about your numbers. So let me ask you this: Are you tracking your exact cost per appointment, cost per show, cost per acquisition?
Yeah.
So what's your cost per acquisition?
Cost per acquisition, I don't know because I haven't signed anyone in a bunch. So
okay.
It's like
okay.
infinite, but yeah.
Okay, so I mean, once you get a bit more consistent, for example, your cost per acquisition is, let's say, $1,000, and you're charging, let's say, 2K a month. It's stupid not to increase the ad spend unless you have any bottlenecks, right? So obviously you can keep increasing the ad spend until you have too many calls, and that was the situation I found myself in during the summer. I had like 8 calls a day, and when I finished them, I was like, well, I have 20 other clients that I have to fulfill on, and I did not accomplish anything today aside from sitting on calls, right? So I had to hire the sales guy. But as the first thing is knowing your numbers. When you know your numbers, that gives you certainty when it comes to increasing the ad spend. Now, when it comes to actually doing it logistically, you have to open your ads manager and you have to just like gradually just like, let's say I was at 200 for a while. I just added $25 on top of it. I did 225. I'm like, well, nothing's going to change by me putting $25. And then I was like, yeah, I might as well do 250. And then I was like, okay, the ad set that is doing an additional 50 actually gave me the meetings. All right.
Yeah.
So this change of me increasing it to 50 actually brought me some meetings. So might as well increase it a bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I meant more in terms of the mindset side of things, but yeah.
Yeah, no, the mindset I would say is just knowing your numbers. Like when you're absolutely certain about especially CAC, because like at the end of the day, only CAC matters.
Yeah.
Then you can really increase your ad spend, and you just have to send it. You just have to send it.
Bet.
Send that shit.
That.
Just
You
rip
gotta
it.
do it, bro. You gotta rip it.
Yeah.
But
You gotta shave that little thing on your chin. I'm not gonna lie, now.
bro, this is like blood, bro. It's blood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hit my shit, bro. It's like blood.
Holy fuck! What happened?
I don't know, bro. I just woke up and like I was literally fucking bleeding, bro. That shit was crazy. I don't know what the fuck happened.
What, a girl text your phone and
Nah.
girl text your phone and Adriana couldn't really handle it.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened, but yeah, I appreciate that, girl.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, if no one has any final
Boys.
questions, we'll probably end it here. We don't take up too much of Carol's time. But yeah, I mean, thank you, Carol, for showing up and dropping some sauce. I think me and Dom, I think everyone gained value from this call. So it was awesome.
100%.
I gained value too, so it's good.
Appreciate you, Carol.
So
Appreciate you.
the biggest takeaway, if everybody's gonna say the biggest takeaway, that's gonna be invest in the ads.
Ads, bro. That's what I say to everyone. Ads. It's the best thing to do.
And I didn't talk about it with Ken. It's not like he told me to tell you to brainwash you. So you're not doing the ads.
And another big thing too is keep the roadmap at the end, because like the day-to-day issues of this business model, every single one of them is solvable.
Yeah. So you have to think. You have to think critically. You actually have to sit and think, how would you solve the problem? Not how your guru is telling you. Not what Charlie Morgan says on YouTube. What you would have done. Right? And again, I love Charlie Morgan. Anyway,
that's a huge thing, bro. That's like the number one thing I see is like, even with me and Caden, the number one thing that probably bottlenecked us was whenever, like, if there was an issue, we were like, how do we solve this? And we couldn't find an issue pretty soon. Be like, oh, bro, this just isn't gonna work.
Yeah,
gotta change something really drastically. It's like
flip it. You can flip it. If somebody did it to me, if somebody called, SMS'd me asking to scale my agency, would I reply? Well, probably not. Right? So
yeah, exactly. So roadmaps, run the ads,
and think critically and focus on the service before trying to scale to 50K a month from ramping the ads.
Focus on the service.
Awesome.
Biggest one. That's the biggest takeaway. Get a good service, and then you can do everything else.
Cool.
And run those ads. Matthew Schwer, run those ads.
Greg.
Matthew Schwer.
Greg.
Yeah,
Gregory.
They're relaunching
Hi, Artem.
Tonight.
I was talking to Dom and
Lucas.
Jaden literally before that we decided to start running ads.
Gregory Teen Marshall Jr.
My government, bro, is crazy work.
Wait, government?
The government name.
Yeah.
They're not allowing Facebook ads?
Nah. Facebook guys are calm. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty chill. But
Facebook ads.
I just have to kind of work on like closing them more because my show up rate on like ads itself is like honestly shit. But that's like my fault because I have to like make a different value video, I think, and actually getting them to watch it. Like how you guys were saying, like pretty much if they show up to that call and they didn't watch it, just reschedule it. Probably better off.
Yeah, why not?
And
Why do you
actually
need to take that call?
try to make them forced. Like don't just send them one email with the video and
Yeah, I tell them it's mandatory to watch over the phone. When I was setting the appointments, I'd tell them like mandatorily they have to watch that video to be on the call, and that was the biggest game changer because they'd actually watch it, and every time they watch it, they'd see like Caden explain like 20 fucking things, and like I don't know how long the video was, bro. Must have been like 30 minutes. Yeah, and they just like, bro, I never had authority be questioned. Never, 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 ever, ever. Instant authority.
Yeah.
You put your balls on the table before the call even starts.
Carol, your pre-call VSL is only 3 minutes, you said?
It used to be longer. Right now it's like 3.5 or 4. It's pretty slim now, maybe. But
Is that the Greece one?
Yeah, it's the Greece one.
Fire.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the previous one was just me talking over like go high level, just like showing results. Hey, like this, we did this. That's how we did this. This client is getting this result. Like those are the numbers. Just like breaking them down. Like if your economics are at least halfway decent, then you're gonna make a fuck ton of money here. So show up on the call and let's rip it.
Nice.
All right. Beautiful, gents, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
Carol, thank you so much for being here. You've been my friend for a long time, and obviously a lot of valuable sauce that's been dropped.
Yeah, a lot of valuable sauce.
Yeah. Love you too, boys. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for everyone showing up too, guys. All right, let's all crush it. Sounds good.
Let's all crush.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
guys. Talk
All
soon.
right.
See you, boys.
Have a great night. See you.
Yeah,
Take care, boys.